Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to select your GCSEs so you have the best options available for your future. If you're new here, my name's Usman and I studied engineering at University of Oxford and at the University of Birmingham, and I help students get the top grades possible across the world. Now, the key thing when it comes to selecting GCSEs is to ensure that you are maximizing your optionality for the future. Now, what that means is making sure that you're not closing any doors by making choices that might affect you further down the line. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 points which will hopefully help you make better decisions in terms of choosing your GCSEs. Point number 1. Triple science offers so many career paths in the future that it is essential that you do triple science if your school offers it. Very few schools don't offer triple science, but you may still be able to do triple science by doing some additional work outside of school. If that is you, drop a comment down below and I can advise on how to approach that. The logical skills that you gain from triple science are really beneficial, whether that's at A level or at university level if you are doing STEM subjects in the future. Whilst it's not an official university requirement that you do triple science, it really does add a lot of strength to your application. If you're studying this at A level, you really want that strength of depth and breadth of knowledge in the science subjects. I've seen a lot of students struggle with their STEM subjects at A level simply because they haven't done triple science at GCSE. In a nutshell, if you have the option of taking triple science, take it. And if your school is being stubborn about it, drop me a comment below. I can talk you through how you can rectify and counter the school's viewpoint on that. What I would like to point out though is that the school's opinion is not final, despite how they may make it seem on selecting your GCSEs. Point number 2, make sure you're actually doing GCSEs. A lot of schools, like the one that I went to, which was a really poor school, will try to shove down BTECs and other non-GCSEs down your throat. Now, whilst they might be equivalent of doing a GCSE, the top ranking universities don't look so highly upon them. Remember, just because you're doing a subject does not mean you're doing a GCSE. Point number 3, always take higher tier. Since AS levels have been cancelled, which is the first year of A levels, GCSEs have started playing a really important part in your selection process for universities. So we have to really ensure that we are getting the top standard grades possible. That can only be achieved via higher tiers. Even if you don't feel you're ready to achieve the top grades right now, remember you often have 1 or 2 or even 3 years in a lot of cases to get the top grades possible. So there is ample time for you to improve and get to the top standard. So believe in yourself and aim for the top. With a foundation GCSE, you can only get up to a grade 5, which in old money is like a C grade. Now we want to be aiming for the A stars here, and you can only do that if you're sitting the higher paper. Now some subjects like English language, for example, don't really have higher or foundation tier, but many others do. For example, maths and science. Okay, so you always want to be in the higher tier setup. And again, if your school is restricting you from moving on to the higher tiers, then drop me a comment and I'll be more than happy to advise on how to improve that. Number 4, the golden number. So the golden number of GCSEs that I would like you to do is ideally 10, but some schools may only offer you 8 or even 7. So if you look at the top students and we try to replicate what they are doing, generally speaking, they would do typically 10 or 11 GCSEs at the top grammar schools and private schools. Now, if you go to a low ranking school, they may only offer you 7 or 8 GCSEs. I would say at the minimum, you want to do 8 because there are some official university requirements that say you have to do at least 8 GCSEs. So if your school is making you do 7 GCSEs and maybe 1 BTEC, that is atrocious. Tell your school to fix up. But remember, it's not just quantity. We want to do quality and quantity. It's not an or situation. It's not, oh, I do 8 subjects and get the best grades possible, or I do 10 and I get meh grades, right? It's not an or situation, it's an and situation. Point number 5, non-compulsory subjects. Now, the non-compulsory subjects, which are anything from geography, law, drama, etc., you can basically choose what you like. And my advice is this: choose what you're really, really good at and what you love. Go for those, because ultimately it doesn't really matter what subject you choose here. Even if, say, for example, you wanted to become a lawyer, you don't actually need to study law at GCSE. You don't need to study at A level. Or heck, you don't even need to study at university and you could still become a top lawyer. These non-compulsory subjects, choose what you're good at and what you enjoy. For having made it this far in the video, here are some bonus points for you guys. If you are doing art or graphics or design technology, make sure you really love them because they take up a lot of time in the final year. So if it comes to year 11, you're going to have ridiculous amounts of coursework for these subjects. Now, I'm not saying don't do them because I did them. I did art and graphics. And I know how much effort and time it takes out from your final year when you should ideally be revising for other subjects. Bonus point number 2 for having made it this far is if you are choosing foreign languages, make sure you start studying early for those, because I've seen plenty of students from top grammars and private schools who've got grade 9s all across their board and then you see a grade 4 or a grade 5 or sometimes even a grade 3 stuck on their academic record, and guess what it is? It's a foreign language. Because what happens is that you cannot ramp up the level of revision for a foreign language in the final year. You have to start early, from start of year 10, even year 9 or earlier, if you know you're choosing it. And for all you lovely people who've made it this far, here's bonus point number 3 for your optional subjects. For subjects like computer science or business, I would say take them outside of your studies. So what I mean by that is make sure you are putting it into practice rather than the theory of GCSEs. Whilst computer science or business would give you a good grounding, these two subjects are really done in the real world.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
So go out and start a business. Maybe do a side hustle. For computer science, go out, build projects, learn coding from the thousands of courses and projects that are available online. That is going to add a lot more to your repertoire and your understanding of these subjects than taking a GCSE course in them will. For example, I run several businesses, hiring over 30 plus employees, and I've never taken GCSE business. If you'd like to learn more about how startup businesses work, drop me a comment and I'll be sure to make a video on that. If you like this video, I would appreciate if you could give it a like. And whilst you're down there, also subscribe. Now you know exactly what GCSEs to choose and how to choose them. But how do you get the top grades in them? Click here to see my complete guide on how to get the top grades possible.